Namaskar, hello and welcome to NCERT's special live phone-in program, webinar on ICT Tools. Today we are going to talk about working with sprites in Scratch. Well, what is Scratch? We discussed it yesterday. It's a series which is going on, and today is the second day of the game-based e-content series. If you want to join us with this training, please feel free to join, and you can mail your questions on our email ID, which is training@ciet.nic.in. And we have two experts with us who will be explaining the working with sprites in Scratch today. And you can also share your questions through our YouTube channel, ncertofficial Official. In the live chat box, please send your questions, and we'll try to take those questions towards the end of this session. That is when we'll get some 10 minutes. So please share. Yesterday, there was a huge participation from all of you, and we tried taking most of the questions, but if we were left with any, we apologize. So today, we'll try and make it up. And let's meet our experts without wasting any more time, and we have Mr. Neeraj. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir is a lead consultant at Learning Links Foundation, and we have Ms. Chitra NJ. Welcome, ma'am, to you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. She is also a lead consultant at Learning Links Foundation, and Sir is a dedicated educator with over 4 years of experience in the field of STEM robotics education. And ma'am, she has 3 years of experience in training on concepts of electronics and technology. So let's begin this session and ask Sir, what is Sprites and how can we work with Sprites? What are we going to learn in this particular session?
So yes, hi everybody. In continuation with ATL game development platform from yesterday's, which is brought to you by Niti Aayog and AIMS, implemented by Dell Technologies and Learning Links Foundation. Today we will be going through how to include sprites in Scratch and work with variations of it. I'm Chitra, and this is my colleague Neeraj from Learning Links Foundation. In yesterday's class, what did we learn? That is the first thing that we'll be seeing in today's agenda, and also how to include sprites, how to create sounds using them, and create little of animations, etc. are the things which we'll be seeing and explained by Neeraj today. Also, in yesterday's class, we saw what are the variations that we get in game-based resources. We can create animations, we can create games, activities, projects, game-based projects. I mean, it's really hard in digital content to make students understand virtually what exactly a concept is. But if you include little of animations in your curriculum, I am sure that students will be very enthusiastic to learn how to do it, and very energetic to learn, and very easy to understand themselves. Also, we saw the various tools which helps us to create animations. In that, we saw the most important and easiest one was Scratch, and we also saw how to install Scratch application offline and how to register ourselves online. Also, the Scratch Junior, which we can just install it on our phones and work with ease free. And yes. Today we'll be, as I said, we'll be seeing one brief on sprites, various ways of adding sprites, how to add backdrops. You see, whenever there is a change of variations in the projects, we would like to see the variations in the backdrop. So how to add it, and role of coordinates. For example, we have longitude and latitude. If I have to say my location, technically I'll use longitude and latitude, right? Just that way, how to include coordinates in our projects, and different ways of adding sounds. You can add your own sounds also, which is already there in the library, or you can record your own, you can get it from the internet, any ways that you can add it to the Scratch. And finally, we'll have a fun assignment giving. We'll also receive Q&As from you. And now I would request Mr. Neeraj sir to continue.
Thank you, Chitra ma'am. Thank you for such a wonderful recap. So hi students and teachers. So basically in this session we are going to talk about sprites. So basically what is Sprite and why we use Sprite in our games. So basically, sprite is just a character, or we can say it's an image. Whenever I want to, or you want to design a game, you want to create a story, you want to create a fun animated stories. So you need a picture, you need a character. Either it's an animal, it's a plant, it's a building, it's a machine gun, anything. So these characters or these pictures are called sprites. Right, so you can see on my screen we have different types of characters. Like there's a girl picture, there's a banana, there's a bear, there's a bat. So these images we call sprite. Now in this session we are going to learn how to add sprite in our games, how to add background. If I want to change background, then how can I change? If I want to add sprite, then how can I change sprite? Now, here you can see this is I'm telling the process how to add sprites to your game. So I'm going to show you an online live demo how to add sprites in a Scratch game. So I'm going to share my screen. Just a second. Now you can see my yeah, so now I guess my screen is visible, my Scratch software offline version visible. In the previous class we have learned how to download or how to use online version, how to use offline version, but right now I'm using offline Scratch version. So here you can see there's a picture of a cat. This cat we call it sprite, right? If you want to add more pictures, more characters in your game, then first of all, I'll delete this sprite, or I'll delete this picture. Then I have deleted this sprite from here. Now, if I want to add more characters, more pictures, suppose I want to add a new sprite, then you can see there's an icon from where you can upload an image of sprite. So here, the first option is choose a sprite. Means you can choose any character, any sprite from your game database, or from your software database. I'm sorry, from your software database. So this is my Scratch software, and when I search here, you can see here we have a lot of sprites available. So depends on your requirement, like which type of animation or which type of story you are going to create. So you can choose according to that. So suppose if I want to use a picture of a bat, so I'll click it, and then you can see the bat on my screen is the sprite. Now there is another way to add more sprites. Suppose I want to create my own sprite. If I want to paint, if I want to create my own sprite, then I'll use the second option, that is paint. Now the third option is surprise. In this case, in this option, you can use any random sprites. It's like a surprise. Any random sprite will appear on your screen. And the fourth one, the last one, that is upload sprite. If you want to upload your own image, if you want to upload your teacher's picture, if you want to upload a picture of a, we can say national animal or a national plant, any picture if you want to upload from the Google or from the camera, so you can use the last option, upload sprite. So suppose I want to upload a picture of a boy. So what I'll do, I'll click here, and then I'll select the image. I'll go in my folder, and here in my folder I'll select a picture of a boy. So just give me a second. In the desktop, here is my folder, that is NCRT. Here is images from Google. So this is the picture of a boy. So you can see I have used a picture of a boy. Now I'm going to delete this picture of the bat. Now I want a background. I want a background, some background like any background, like my school's image. I want to use a picture of a park. So what I have to do to use the background in your sprite, then what you have to do, just here you can see there's a blue circle at the corner. There is a blue circle at the corner down. It's written choose a backdrop. Then what you have to do, in the same manner, we have 4 options here. The first one, if you want to use a backdrop from the softwares library, then you have to click the first one. So you can see here we have a lot of backgrounds available. Some are from music, some are related to sports, some are related to indoor outdoor games, some are related to space, underwater. So you can use any background image. Now if you want to use any image that is not available here, so for that what you have to do, the same process, you will go to till the last one. There's an option for upload backdrop or upload background. So I'll click here and I'll upload a background of a park. So I'll click the park, I select the park and I click open. मैंने इसे ओपन किया and now you can see ये इसको import कर रहा है. Now here is the background of my park and here is the background of a boy. In a similar way, अगर आप कोई प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हैं, if you are making a project for your school, so आप भी अपने स्कूल की पिक्चर क्लिक कर सकते हैं, आप उसको बैकग्राउंड में सेट कर सकते हैं और आगे अपने टीचर्स, अपने स्कूल बस, ऐसा डिफरेंट स्प्राइट को यूज करके एक एनिमेटेड स्टोरी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. Now it's the image of a boy, it's looking so big, so what I'll do, I'll reduce the size. From here I will make the size, instead of 100 I'll write it 50. So it's something like it's looking like a boy is in the park. हमारे जो boy है वो park में है. Now if you want to do coding, if you want to move this boy, move to boy left and right, then what you have to do, the same programming part. Till what we have did, हमने अभी तक क्या किया, we have just make a background, we have used a sprite, हमने एक scenario create किया. Now time for programming. So programming के लिए what we have to do, we will go in the programming part. From here I'll use first event. Whenever I click the green flag, means whenever I click the green flag, then what will happen, then I'll go in the motion block. Motion means I want a movement. मुझे movement देना है अपने boy को, उसको left right move करना है. So that I'll use a block that is motion block. So drag and drop the motion block in the programming area. Now whenever I click the green flag, so I'll make it full size. Here is the option for zoom in and zoom out. You can zoom in or zoom out the images. So whenever you click the green flag, you can see this picture will move toward left or right. So that we have already did. Now if I used a forever loop block, means repeat block. If I use the repeat block, then see what will happen. So I'll go in the control section. I'll use a forever block. That means this repeat block or this move block will repeats multiple times. Right. Now I'll put I'll make a small program. When I click the green flag, my move 10 steps will move for continuously. So I'll write it here. So suppose if I click the green flag, this is what will happen. My boy is moving from right to left. So this is how you can use upload, or this is how you can upload background images and sprite. Fine. Now both have same functions, like the 4 functions you can see here. Similarly, we have same 4 functions here. Now if you want to add sound, so just give me a second, I'll switch to PPT. Yeah. So this is how we learned how to add sprites and different ways to add sprites from the library and from the system. Now we'll talk about the costume. So costume, what is exactly a meaning of costume? So you have heard about the name costume, like we have some different types of cloth in the school functions, है ना? आपने सुना होगा हम अलग-अलग टाइप के costumes पहनते हैं, either कोई हमारे school में function होता है. So in the same way, if I talks about the sprites having different costume. Suppose I want my cat should walk, right? Then here it's an image. यहाँ पे क्या है वो? It's an image. But I want my cat looks like that it is moving. So for that, what we'll do, I'll use 2 to 3 images of a cat with having different positions. Like the first image is like having this position, second is having this position, and the third image is having this position. So when I use the 3 images together and I play it one by one sequentially, then it looks like that my cat is moving this way. So here, if you want to make an animated animation or animated game, and you want that your image or your character should move, then you can use the costume part. Fine. So how to use costume and from where you can find out the costume? For that, what you will do? Just choose any sprite. Suppose if I'll delete this sprite from here and I'll use a new sprite. Suppose I'll use a sprite of a ballerina. Here you can see there's a ballerina dancing. There's a girl that is she's dancing. So I'll select this sprite and I'll change the background also. I'll change the background from here to the dancing floor. So let's see, is there any background for dancing? So yes, we have an option for consult. Now you can see it's a perfect match with the sprite and the background, the girl and the background. So now if I want to make this girl dance, it's my project, like I have to prepare a project for my dance teacher. So what I did, I just use a background with having a concert type image, then there's a dancing girl. Now if you want to use different costumes, then for that what you have to do, first select the costume, first select this icon, the sprite, and then go in the costume section. So here you can see we have a costume option. Click on the costume option. All right, now you can see we have four different 1, 2, 3, 4 different costumes. So I think the screen is small. I'll do one thing, I'll just make it large. I'll show you it on online. So meanwhile जब तक स्टार्ट होता है हम इसको कवर करते हैं. Yes, so take it will take a time to it. So here you can see we have 4 costumes. So when I click the first one, this is the costume 1, this is the costume 2, this is the costume 3, and this is the costume 4. Means we have 4 different we have a same character but having different position. So when you use all the costumes together in a loop, then it looks like that the girl is dancing. So this is costume. So whenever you use a new character, you can see in each character we have different types of costume. So suppose if I use this batter, then here in the costume part you can see the batter is having 1, 2, 3, 4 costumes. It is similar to animation that we discussed yesterday. You know, so it's just similar to animation, right? So this is all about the costume part. Now back to PPT. So this is how we have learned here how to use different costumes. Now the next one is I'll share my screen. The next one is painting sprite. How to sound in your game. So if you are using a Scratch software online or offline, if you want to add sound, or if you want to add your own music, MP3 music, Bollywood, Hollywood songs, if you want to add your voice, then how can you add the song? See, to add the sound, first what you have to do, to add the sound, what you have to do, here is the option to add sound. See, can you see here in the top below tutorials?
Yes,
is the option for sound. So just click on it. If you want to add a pre-recorded sound that is already pre-recorded in the software, if you want to add those sounds, so you can choose sound from here. If you want to record your own voice, अगर मैं खुद की अपनी आवाज ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, for that I'll use the record option. And the third one is surprise, means random voice will appear. And the fourth one is if you want to add MP3 songs from your YouTube, from your Google, or from your mobile, so you can use this option, upload sound. Now I'll give you an example. I'm going to add a sound from my system. So here it's a dancing bed, so I'll use dancing. So here you can see effects. In the effects you can use any sound. Fine. So here we have a lot of pre-recorded sounds are here. So you can use any sound in your game. Fine. Suppose I'll use this sound, boink, right? I have added boink sound. So when I use in the programming part, I want to add a boink sound. So for that, what we'll do, first I'll go in the control section, in the event section, in the event section, I'll use this option. Whenever I click the green flag, then what will happen? Then a sound will appear. So for that, what we'll do, we'll go in the sound option and we'll choose a second option, that is start sound boing, right? So when I click the green flag, a sound will appear. Now if you want to add a sound with a dancing girl, so for that what you have to do, you have to use the move block here. We drag this move block here and we'll put it in the loop. So loop means in the repeat part. So I'll put it in the repeat part. Then after that, I'll add another move block so that this girl will move left and right, or it looks like she's dancing. So for that, I'll put here -10, or -50, 50, and then I'll write here 50. That means this girl move 50 means positive x-axis, then a sound appear, then negative axis sound appear, right? So check. So she's moving, I think this was again repeat 55, okay. So we'll add wait block of 0.5 seconds because there is no delay. That's why you're unable to see this movement. See. So this is how you can add sound and side-by-side movement in a simple program, right? So this is the way to add sound. Now I'm going to show you like how you can use Scratch in your science or project. Like suppose in the previous class we have learned how we can use social science, like how can we show on the sun, right? Program it, हम उसको program भी किया था how Earth is moving around the sun. Now I'll show you some demos कि how we can use the Scratch software to explain the concept of physics, to explain the concept of electricity, to explain the concept of friction. Like in our class, in our science class, we always learned that when we rub two hands together, then we can opposite force will appear. है ना, हमको ऐसा पढ़ते हैं कि जब भी हम दो बात को रब करते हैं तो कुछ opposing force हमें feel होता है ना, but we can't see that. So if you want to prepare an animation or story, so let's see how we can. So I'll go in the file section and I'll upload a project and I'll show you. So this is the concept of friction. So I'll show you. So we believe this project is made by a student of grade 7th or 8th, right? So you can use such type of concepts, like if you can take friction, you can use momentum, kinetic energy, potential energy, and you can explain those type of concepts by using the Scratch. So simply we have done a program, like just we are learning here we can use language. We have used a language English. Then we just type here. हमने just type किया कि friction is the resistance of to motion of one object moving related to another. So basically जो भी हमने यहाँ पे लिखा है, the same is explained by the our software. हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर ने वही सेम चीज एक्सप्लेन की है. एंड हियर वी हैव यूज्ड अ इमेज ऑफ अ बॉय, वी हैव यूज्ड अ इमेज ऑफ अ कार, राइट. सो ये सब चीजें आप भी अपने स्कूल में बना सकते हैं बहुत ही इजीली, एंड यू कैन सबमिट सच टाइप ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स इन योर स्कूल. Now, I think most of you know about the frictions. Let's learn about the resistance, what is voltage and what is current in an interesting manner. So here we have another project. That is the Ohm's law. I think in the grade of 8th and 9th and the 10th, you have learned Ohm's law. What is current, what is voltage, what is resistance, because we have these are some terminologies that we have heard in our school, in our colleges, but we ना, so let's learn by gaming कि game से हम कैसे सीख सकते हैं, है ना? So here you can see we have some images of a bulb. There's a wire, there's a battery, we can say, and here we have a formula that V is equals to IR. V is voltage, I is the current, and R is for resistance. Now we all know कि whenever हमारा जब भी घर में voltage अगर हम increase the voltage, then automatically current will increase, or voltage is directly proportional to current, but voltage is inversely proportional to resistance. Means whenever voltage goes up, resistance is down. मतलब इस तरह से combination होता है जो हम अपने बुक में पढ़ते हैं. Now we will learn here practically कि what is the relation between voltage and current. So here we have made a game. When I click on it, now see, suppose my resistance is 1. Here it's a slider. You can increase or decrease the resistance by moving this slider. So I put resistance equals to 1, means resistance is 1 ohm. Now if I increase my voltage, मतलब मैं अगर बैटरी से ज़्यादा पावर देता हूँ तो क्या होगा, मेरा करंट भी फ्लो होगा. एंड यू कैन सी हियर व्हेन वोल्टेज इज 0 देयर इज नो लाइट. हमारा लैंप है दैट इज ऑफ. सो व्हेन आई इंक्रीज द वोल्टेज फ्रॉम द बैटरी, नाउ यू कैन सी हमारा जो करंट है दैट इज 1, एंड जो हमारा लाइट है वो हल्का सा ग्लो किया. व्हेन आई इंक्रीज द वोल्टेज 2, देन यू कैन सी करंट इज 2 एंड द बल्ब मेरा हल्का सा ग्लो कर रहा है. Then जैसे मैं gradually I'll increase that, and you can see the bulb glows accordingly. So this is my full voltage, that is 10. My current is 10 ampere, and the bulb is full. It's full. वो बिल्कुल full ही glow कर रहा है. Then if I increase the resistance, you know what is resistance? Whenever we have heard कि एक current को oppose करता है, current की flow को control करता है, something कुछ ऐसा है ना. So that is resistance. So whenever I increase the value of resistance, now you can see मेरा जो voltage है वो या मेरा जो current है वो automatically कम होता जा रहा है, and मेरा जो bulb है वो बिल्कुल glow होने से बिल्कुल down हो गया या zero हो गया. So this function जो हम ये अपने स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, that we are learning in our school, the relation between voltage, current, resistance. Now here we have designed the animation, or we can say we have designed this type of software in our Scratch programming. Fine. So यहाँ देख सकते हैं, it's a simple program that we have learned. I think here कि whenever I click the green flag, my size increases to 100%. When I and then if here we have choose 5 sprites in this project, like we have used an image of a V, we have used an image of an equal sign, we have used an image of a I current, we have used an image of a resistance, and we have used an image of a bulb. So these are the 5 different images, and in each image we had what we have done, we have just programmed कि whenever if I says about the bulb, if I talks about the bulb, तो मैंने यहाँ पे bulb के लिए programming की है कि whenever I click the green button, जो मेरा bulb है वो 100% के effect से जले, इस तरह से हम इसकी programming की है. So these type of concepts, if you are learning Scratch, तो आप इस तरह के concepts अपने STEM, अपने science, mathematics या अपने engineering से related concepts और ना subjects में आप इसको use कर सकते हैं. Now चलिए now just give me a second, moving toward the PPT. Yeah, so this is how we learned how to add sound, and here we have different functions in sound. If you want to reduce the amplitude of sound, if you make the voice softer, if you want to make the voice harder, or if you want to do any other changes, if you want to increase or decrease the pitch of sound, then you can use, here we have a different options for that. So if you want to record your own voice, as I already mentioned, here's an option for recording. Then there's a library that we have already discussed. If you want to add sounds from your library, then you can use this library option. Now let's talk about the coordinates. I think in geometry, most of you have heard about the coordinates, like what is x-axis, what is y-axis, what is positive x, negative x, Cartesian coordinations. ऐसे कुछ terms आपने terminologies आपने सुने होंगे. I think the grade of 6th and 7th आपने पढ़ा भी होगा in your maths book कि there is a scale, जैसा हम scale use करते हैं ruler in our mathematics कि there is a zero origin, then if we increase like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in centimeters, हम जब increase करते हैं तो in the same way हमारे graphs होते हैं. In the graphs I'll show you in, practically कि कैसे work करता है. Basically आप अपने screen पे देख रहे हैं अभी, this 0, 0 is called center of the screen. हमने अभी देखा ना जैसे हमारे गेमिंग, हमारा जो गेमिंग सॉफ्टवेयर है, I'll show you. I'll open a new project here and I'll delete this. I'll open a background and here we have an option for adding a graph. So here you can see there's a cat. जो हमारी cat है इसको मैं थोड़ा साइड में करता हूँ. Now you can see this is the 0, 0 means it's our origin. Here the line x-axis and the line y-axis is 0, 0. If I move toward x-axis, if I move toward this side, this means I'm moving toward positive x-axis, and the value of positive x is the end is 240, means my screen ends here and the point is 240. In similar way, if I move toward negative direction, this is the negative direction, and here this is minus 240, right? If we talks about the positive of y means upside, so the maximum point, that is y is 180 and x is 0 here. And in the similar way, if we goes down, means in the opposite direction, that is negative. So here y is minus 180, sorry, 180, minus 180, and it's plus 180. So this is the coordinates. And why we are using coordinates here? Because when we are designing a game, when we are designing a story or an animation, on that time we need to confirm कि at what point my image or my sprite is located. मेरा image कहाँ पे है वो मुझे अपने प्रोग्राम में बताना होता है. So I don't know कि मेरा जो अभी मेरा जो sprite है, the cat where it's located, इसका मुझे इसका location मुझे नहीं पता. Like we use Google Maps, right? If I'm here, so Google Map में मुझे दिखाएगा कि कंप्लीट इंडिया में मेरा एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन कहाँ पे है, मुझे डॉट से शो करता है, जिसको हम लैटिट्यूड या लॉन्गिट्यूड से मेजर करते हैं, राइट? इन द सिमिलर वे, इफ मुझे अपने कैट को देखना है कि उसके पोजीशन वेयर इट्स एग्जिस्टिंग, सो उसके लिए आई विल यूज दिस ग्राफ. So to understand it better, if you want to know your location of the sprites, for that what you will do, here you can see here in this you can see there's an x and y axis. If it's not visible, then I'll do one thing, I'll share just a second. Still it's loading. There's a so I just make it large. Now you can see here, I'll show you. See, you can see here the x is 0, y is 0. That means my sprite is at the center, is it at center. So I'll upload a image here. I'll upload a coordinates background here, same similar way. So now if I want to show you the location of my sprite, if I want to show you the location of my sprite, so suppose if my sprite is here, then I want to know the location, so you can track the location from here. The location of my scratch is minus 166 and y is minus 102. So if I put x to 0, that means x is 0 means on this line, so it will come on the blue line, and y is minus 102. And instead of 102, if I write minus 50, so it will, my cat shifts a little bit upside. Clear? Now if I write instead of minus 50, I'll write 100. Now what will happen? X is 0 and y is 100, means my x is this line and y is 100. 100 means positive axis, so it will move towards positive area. So this is how we can learn coordinates in this software. and you can design such type of games, by mathematical games, geometrical games, by using this coordinated background image, right? So just a second, again I'm going to so now so we have learned about the coordination, like coordinates, what is x-axis, what is the range, what is 180 minus 80 minus 180, है ना? So इसके बारे में हमने भी देखा. Now we'll learn about the directions, like कि हमारी जो directions होती है, like मेरी cat अगर मैं use कर रहा हूँ या मैं किसी अर्थ को move करता हूँ अपने game के अंदर, या मैं कोई भी any character if I want to move in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction, now how can I move that character? आप कैसे उसको मूव कर सकते हैं? by using the blocks of motion, right? So here you can see on the screen we have a 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 and minus 90, है ना? So minus 90 means this is opposite of 90. So the similar way अगर आप अपने इसको गेम से स्क्रैच सॉफ्टवेयर में देखते हैं, so I'll show you कि कैसे हम इसको यूज कर सकते हैं. मैं अभी आपको अपना ऑनलाइन सॉफ्टवेयर के बारे में बताता हूँ. Just a second. So I'll show you here in the screen. Suppose I want to move this cat in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction. So for that, what I'll do, I'll go in the motion block and I'll use a turn degree. So to turn means how much you want to turn. This is the clockwise turning and this is the anti-clockwise turning, right? So if I put it like this, if I click on the turn 15 degree, that means my sprite is moving towards clockwise direction, and this is my anti-clockwise direction. Fine. So this is 15 degree turn. If I write here 30, that means it's taking a 30 degree turn, right? And in the similar way, I think you have learned the concept of how to move clockwise and anti-clockwise. Now, if you want to make a clock, the wall clock, then you can design that type of clock in your Scratch software. For that, what you need 3 sprites. 3 sprites means one is the hand minute, one is the second minute, and another is the second minute and hour. 3 hands are there, and applying the same formula, like you just put here 1 degree, just put 1 degree and delete this block and put a 1 second block. Put a 1 second block here and then apply the not forever, it's a repeat block. Repeat how much? 60, because I want कि जो मेरा कैरेक्टर है, सपोज इसको मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ यहाँ से, एंड मैं एक क्लॉक के लिए कोई स्टिक यूज करता हूँ to represent, suppose I'll use this arrow. ठीक है, I used this arrow और इसका मैं सेंटर में रखता हूँ और इसका थोड़ा सा हम साइज इंक्रीज कर देते हैं. So I'll make it instead of 100, I'll make it 200. Fine, I'll 200 and I'll use a repeat block having 60 seconds, so it repeats 60 times, and then I'll put a wait block of 1 second because हमारी जो second hand होती है वो 1 second move करती है, and I'll use a turn block having a degree of 1. ठीक है, so when I click 1, so you can see हमारा जो ये एरो का सिंबल है, इट्स टेकिंग अ टर्न ऑफ 1 डिग्री हैविंग अ 1 सेकंड इंटरवल. सो एक 60 सेकंड्स के अंदर एक पूरा कंप्लीट सर्कल मूव करेगा. सो इन द सिमिलर वे आप इसके ऊपर एक और स्प्राइट यूज कर सकते हो टू मेक इट एज अ मिनट हैंड, एंड देन थर्ड आप यूज कर सकते हो टू मेक अ आर. Right, so this is your homework basically. You have to try this one. You have to make a clock. आपको एक clock अपने लिए खुद से बनाना है, जिसमें आपको proper एक circle use करना है. You have to use a circle. In the circle, you have to use some numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But these numbers are already available in the sprite option. We have the option for adding sprites. So you can see at the last bottom we have an option for adding sprites. So you can use 12 numbers. You can use 3 minute hand, hour hand and second hand, and while using the same programming, मैंने जो जैसा भी यहाँ पे किया है, आप सेम प्रोग्रामिंग करके आप इस तरह से अपना खुद का क्लॉक डिजाइन कर सकते हैं. So that's your homework that you have to do. If you're watching on YouTube, if you have any comment, you can ask me tomorrow, right? So this is a program for making a second hand. Now in the similar way, you have to do some changes, like minute hand के लिए हमें क्या change करना पड़ेगा, that you have to do, and then आप उसका एक अपना खुद का complete watch आप बना सकते हैं. Fine. So moving ahead to the next one. Yeah. Now, so this is your assignment. So you have to explore Scratch interface and blocks to create an animal movement, or if you want to create a watch, you want to create your own watch, or if you want to create anything, आपको कुछ भी create करना है जो हमने आज देखा, हमने आज सीखा, just go and download your software if you have not downloaded. But if you have any doubt related to previous class also, if you miss something, we will answer you over there. Fine.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
Sir, we, like you said, that they can send their questions, their queries. We've received a lot of queries from our students, from our viewers. So, shall we begin with the question answer round?
Yes.
Okay. So Divyanshu was asking, can we use sprites to explain mathematical concepts as well, which you have already answered. Okay, Sudipta is asking, can we do normal programs in other languages like C in Scratch language also?
Okay, so you want to ask, like, you want to do programming like C in the Scratch?
Yes.
I think. So basically, see, Scratch is a, we can say, block-based programming, or it's a virtual blocks we have. We just have to connect block by block, and then you can design a game or a story. But as we see, basically Scratch, if I say is Scratch जो basically बनाया है, that is for the kid who's having a age from 6 to 16 or 18, so they can learn the concepts of basic programming. If they are they are at the beginner level, but they don't know anything about the C language, they don't know about the Python language, then they can use the block-based programming. But yes, if you want to use C language, then there are different platforms. Like you can use Arduino, you can use C. There's a C there's software for C programming. I think Docs we called it. So you can use C programming over there. But yes, for the Scratch, you can just use block-based programming here.
Okay. So after sharing your assignment, you shared an email ID as well. Can you show that again?
Yes. It's tech@learninglinksindia.org. If you have any doubt, if you want to ask any question related to Scratch, related to programming, you can write us or email, or you can visit the www.planetcode.in. Basically, it's a website for if you want to learn Scratch programming, if you want to explore more about the games, if you want to learn upper level. Suppose you are learning Scratch and you have completed all the programs. Now, if you want to learn more, like if you want to design 2D games, if you want to design 3D games, like we have PUBG, we have ICT, we have GTA. So if you want to learn these type of games, so here is a website, planetcode.in. This website is also you can see check on Atal Innovation Missions portal. So it's a government website, और यहाँ से आप free में 2D 3D games बना भी सीख सकते हैं. What you have to do, you just have to create your account.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, because many of the students were asking that where can they share their assignments. So you just saw the email ID.
Yes. I'll here's the email ID, and I'll give you a feedback form. If you want to share your feedbacks, you can share your feedbacks over this link. Otherwise, you can mail us at tech@learninglinksindia.org, where you can share your games, your assignments with us.
Absolutely. You can share your assignments, your projects on the email ID sir has just mentioned, or if you want, you can also share it on our email ID, which is training@ciet.nic.in. All right, going further, sir, Pradeep is asking, can we use this software in our regional languages?
Yes, not in the regional language, because in the Scratch software we have, as I shown you the first day, you can use the software in the country's language. Like if you are from Malaysia, if you are from China, then you can use. But I think in the Marathi or in the Tamil, there is, I think, no option for Scratch.
Okay, all right. Next one, Arpita is asking that she joined late, so she missed that Ohm's law sprite. And I want to tell Arpita, I can answer this question because this session will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, ncertofficial. And even yesterday's session was uploaded on the same channel. You can view the whole session again and understand what exactly sir did, and you can learn the process again. So this is live going on, but it will be uploaded. All right, next Hasina is asking, can we add videos as backdrop in Scratch, like you showed a boy's picture and there was a photograph behind that. So in the place of the photograph, can we use a video?
Okay, I guess someone asked the same question, I think yesterday also. I don't know, in this session or other session. So I would like to answer. You can't add video because there is no option for adding videos in this background. But yes, you can add backgrounds or multiple backgrounds. And when you combine all the images together, so it looks like that a video is playing. Understood? Like if I add 5 or 10 or 15 different backgrounds, and when I programmed it, after half second the background changes, then it looks like there is a video is playing behind the scene. So you can do that.
Okay, all right. So many of the students have asked that can we use more than one sound for an animation?
Yes. You can use n number of sounds. For that, what you have to do, you have to use n number of blocks for that. So if you want to execute the first sound, you have to use first block, then you have to use, if you want to execute second sound, then you have to use second block. So you can use n number of blocks if you want to use different sounds for that.
Okay, so in between when you showed that girl with 4 costumes, so one of our viewers, he or she is asking how to add those 4 costumes. So you have already answered that again, but in a nutshell, can you answer that again?
Yes. For that, what you have to do, there is an option for changing the costume. If you go in the costume part, if you go in the looks part, there's an option for changing the costume. You can choose the costume what you want, right? If you want to use the costume number 2, then there's in the programming block, there's an option for choose the costume. Just click on that and automatically the costume changes.
All right. Okay. So another question is, how can a teacher integrate Scratch in teaching learning process?
That's a great question. So as a teacher, if you want to integrate Scratch in your own curriculum, so I think in the most of the schools I have seen, there are a lot of teachers are using Scratch and they have just made a lot of projects related to STEM based. As I shown you here, if I talk about in today's session, I showed you 2 to 3 examples. Like one is the friction. So it is also part of our science, like in the physics, how we teach friction. If I say about the voltage, resistance, and current, it's also a part of science. So in the same way, if you want to design a topic, if you want to design a curriculum for your students, what you have to do is you just need to be a creative person. And also the creative has a बहुत सारे creative ideas, creative projects you can create for your students.
Okay, so Mohsina, one of our viewers, she is asking that even if we use the online version or the offline version, we can still save, download our saved projects, right?
Yeah, if you are using an online version or an offline version, there is an option for saving the project. You can use that option, you can download your projects also.
Okay, so Sanjay is asking that will there be any copyright issue if they use any of these pictures?
Copyright, on internet we have n number of pictures which are available for us. So you can use any picture, but in some websites or in some pictures, please do check कि उन्होंने कुछ mention तो नहीं किया है कि if you are using this picture, there's a copyright. Then you can use, but in the Google, I think most of the pictures are you can use easily. ऐसा कुछ copyright का issue नहीं आता because it's a project for education. यू आर नॉट सेलिंग दीज प्रोजेक्ट्स, आप एक गेम्स भी सेल नहीं कर रहे, खाली एजुकेशन के लिए सीखने के लिए यू आर यूजिंग दिस प्रोजेक्ट्स पिक्चर्स।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर। आपने बहुत सारे सवालों का जवाब दिया, हमने पूरी कोशिश की बहुत सारे सवाल लेने के लिए, लेकिन अभी भी कुछ क्वेश्चंस रह गए हैं, तो हम कोशिश करेंगे कल के सेशन में इसे कंटिन्यू करें और आप सभी के सवाल ले लें। थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सो मच मैम हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए और हमारे व्यूअर्स को उनके जवाब देने के लिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you.
थैंक यू टू ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स। आपने कार्यक्रम देखा और इस ट्रेनिंग में आपको मज़ा आ रहा है एंड इट्स बीइंग वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू, क्योंकि बहुत सारे दर्शकों ने लिखा है कि उन्होंने डाउनलोड किया है स्क्रैच और साथ साथ में एनिमेशन बनाने की कोशिश भी की है। तो थैंक यू सो मच पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए। इसी तरह ये पूरी सीरीज़ अभी और भी चलेगी, तो आप हमारे साथ रोज़ ज़रूर जुड़िएगा सेम टाइम पे 4 बजे, और हम अलग अलग टॉपिक लेकर रोज़ हाजिर होंगे। अभी के लिए ये कार्यक्रम यहीं ख़त्म करते हैं। थोड़ी देर में आएंगे फिर से एक बार और लेकर आएंगे हमारा एक और ख़ास कार्यक्रम सहयोग, जिसमें हम बातचीत करेंगे होप एंड बिलीफ, एसेंशियल्स टू स्टे मोटिवेटेड। तो हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए, कहीं मत जाइएगा, अपना बहुत बहुत ध्यान रखिएगा और मास्क ज़रूर लगाइएगा अगर आप बाहर जाएँ तो। नमस्कार।